Bad movies. They're a dime a dozen, and they'll never stop being produced. This year, more than 10 rubbed me the wrong way. More than 10 failed to effectively tell their story. But when I think about it, these 10 really took the cake. These 10 pissed me off. Number 10, The Lone Ranger. I am truly shocked by how horrible this film was. Johnny Depp is usually a fun actor to watch, but here he's just doing a toned down version of Captain Jack Sparrow, which doesn't help him or this film. And Armie Hammer was either directed poorly or just simple miscasting. I saw potential in this film. It was in the trailer. But the screenplay from Pirate Scribes, Ted Elliott, and Terry Rossio doesn't cut it. Full with moments that either drag out or just really aren't all that necessary, the screenplay is bloated. Very bloated. Here's to hoping Pirates 5 is a step back in the right direction. Number 9, the incredible Burt Wonderstone. During his Golden Globe Best Actor speech for Little Voice, Michael Caine mentioned how before he knew whether or not he would be a success, he took in every script and did the part asked of him. He admitted to having made some crap, but also to having made a lot of money. Little Voice, however, was the kind of artistic project he could now wait for. He was no longer a desperate actor. Every actor involved in this, however, willingly signed on knowing it was not Little Voice. This was not an artistic decision. This was them clamoring for a paycheck. Funny enough though, all of them are successes. It's like Michael Caine's career, but in reverse. Number 8, R.I.P.D. A complete ripoff of Men in Black. I really can't believe this thing got past test screenings. Were people afraid to say it sucked, or did they just think to themselves, it's obvious, they'll figure it out? Well, either way, the CGI is some of the worst I've ever seen, and both actors have seen better days. My guess is they were blackmailed into doing this. It's the only logical explanation besides a payday. But no one's this desperate. Number 7, Now You See Me. Magic can be fun. Magic is supposed to be fun. Up until the final 15 minutes or so, I was actually kind of having fun with this. Then a twist came that made me lose any and all respect I had for it. It made no sense then, still doesn't now. Number 6, Spring Breakers. The more I think about this film, the more I think Harmony Korine might just be the go-to guy for a Grand Theft Auto movie. I mean, he already has all the ingredients. Bikini-clad girls with no development whatsoever, a pimp who has it all and enlists the help of young girls to help him do his dirty work, and characters who aren't really characters who just repeat the same boring dialogue over and over again. Or maybe I'm wrong, maybe he should be the guy who does the next Piranha film, because all he has to do is add those CG bastards in and then cut out the rest, which is basically a music video. Either way, it'll be a lot more fun than this was. Number 5, Movie 43. I gave this film 2.5 stars, which to me is not a grade that warrants consideration for a top 10 worst of list. This, however, is a special case, because while there were parts I did find funny and mildly enjoyable in my own sick little way, it was about nothing and had no point. Plus, it made fun of Batman. At that point, it had my permission to die, and based on its box office growth, I think it did. Number 4, All Is Lost. Keep It Simple has never been taken quite so literally. This film has no story, our man has no dimensions. Do I care? No. I'm given no reason to besides the fact that it's Robert Redford. He's an iconic actor, but it's not enough. Number 3, Bullet to the Head. Stallone, much like Adam Sandler, just keeps popping out movie after movie no matter how bad or generic the last one was. Bullet to the Head is one of those films that thinks it's so much better than it actually is. It's basically a non-stop jerk-off session. My apologies for the vulgarity. Stallone at one point has a line that goes like this: "When I'm done with this drink, I'm gonna be done with you." Allow me now to rephrase that. When I'm done with this movie, I'm gonna be done with you. Not really, I mean there is still Expendables 3 and whatever else he makes before he dies, but it did sound cool. Kind of. Number 2, A Good Day to Die Hard. True story. My mom and dad this past year were at a restaurant, and they overheard this woman talking about this movie, and she said this was the best Die Hard film by far. Oh, how I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. Had I been there, there would have been some words exchanged. I would have been polite, mind you, but there would have been some words exchanged. Nothing resembling a Die Hard movie is here. There's better CGI in most of today's commercials and better villains in all 5 Resident Evil movies. It is clear as day that director John Moore and screenwriter Skip Woods didn't give a shit. So why should we? Number 6 is currently in the works though, and if it's anything like this, then Bruce Willis will have to rely on Red 3, 4, 5, and 6 for his next franchise deal. Let us hope it does not come to that. And finally, number 1, Grown Ups 2. Oh god, this piece of shit's problems are anything but infinitesimal, which is basically just a really pretentious, grown-up way of saying small. Did you get the pun there? You know, I really don't know what's sadder. The fact that the cast list includes Stone Cold Steve Austin, Taylor Lautner, and The Lonely Island, or that it actually made money. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. What's sadder is how it makes Hangover Part 3 and even 2 look like friggin' masterpieces. How does that happen? Although, it did make more than Pacific Rim opening weekend. That's just wrong. So yeah, there you have it. If you subscribed this past year, thank you very much. And if a request of yours was not yet met this year, rest assured it will be done next year, as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your patience. See you guys soon.